Hello and welcome back to the Cheltenham Exchange. No OJ tonight, so I'm hosting Alex as usual. Joining me today, we have regular member of the show, Mr. Ian Rayner. Ian, thanks for joining. How are you?
I'm very happy. My team won the weekend, so happy for once. And I had a good win on the horses and the football yesterday, so I'm very pleased.
Very nice. I'm happy as well. Cheltenham won, Cheltenham didn't win. Cheltenham lost, although Chelsea won. So 1 out of 2 is not too bad on a weekend. And we're also joined by friend of the channel and odds checker tipster, Mr. Ginger Joe. Joe, thanks for joining. How are you?
Yeah, I'm good, Alex. I'm good. Thanks for having me on. Always enjoyed talking racing with you boys. We're usually doing it via text and a WhatsApp group. So anytime we can jump on camera, it's all good fun. Looking forward to it. Yeah.
Lovely. So, video today, as we're now just over a month away from the festival. Today we're going to have a chat about the first day of the Cheltenham Festival. So, looking at races like the Supreme, the Arkle, the Ultima, etc. We have run a separate poll for each individual race on day one, asking people what their thoughts are, who's going to win. Votes are all now in. Some races have produced some strong consensus picks, some not so strong. And yeah, some just completely split. So we'll go through all those. Now, before we dive in, just want to remind you that the Cheltenham Exchange is sponsored by thatsagol.com, where you can find all the latest bookmaker sign-up offers, free bets and promotions. Check out their free bets for horse racing page. There's a link in the description that Ian will put in down there for you to have a look. And you can grab a new customer offer for racing and a clear guide explaining how each offer works. There are a few strange-looking bookmakers on there that I've set up accounts with as well and got some free bets, so it is definitely well worth a go. So,
Ginger bet.
Sorry, Ian?
So Ginger bet is one of them.
Absolutely, yeah.
Ginger
People that like spins, there's some spins in there as well.
Oh, Joe loves a spin.
Love a bit of big bass.
Joe loves a spin. Right, so as I said, we're going to go through race by race for the poll results. First up will be the Supreme Novices Hurdle. And with a bit of magic, it should pop up on screen now. Okay, so you can see the Supreme Novices Hurdle. The vote was won by Old Park Star. Hendo Horse, as Ian would be very happy. Got to come straight to you two, Ian. What are your thoughts on this one? Old Park Star, 66% of the vote.
He's been very good, considering I think the original plan was for Old Park Star to be the Turners or the old Ballymore horse, and Active Innocence was supposed to be the Supreme horse, but he just wowed everybody with his 2 runs. And I think some of his, I'd have checked some of his speed figures. His run at Haydock is 35%, which is like out of this world. And I mean, it's such a quick, speedy horse, and 66%. I think it just shows how impressive he's been this season. He's wowed a lot of people.
Well, they do say that stayers win Supremes, don't they? So, yeah, the fact that they think he could stay further is obviously going to be useful. Some stats in here, so that 13 of the 15 winners had won last time out. Some other stats that only 5 of the last 21 favourites won as well. So that's interesting, that one, actually. I thought it would be more than that. So yeah, Old Park Star, 66.2% of the vote. If he did have that percentage chance, and that 15-8 that's currently on offer looks pretty good value. Some comments on here as well. So Scotty Rudd's Bad Boy Bowls thinks that he could win the race with Bossman on his back. What do you reckon, Ian? Could you ride him to victory?
Just about, with my big lump of weight on him, yeah, just about.
And the Bookies Foe thinks that Old Park Star is Altior Part 2. What are your thoughts on this, Joe? Obviously, you're one of your favourites is in that list of previous winners there, Marine the Dream.
Yeah, you got to be pretty special to win a race like this, haven't you? So, I wouldn't say Old Park Star is Altior Part 2 whatsoever. It's a very good horse, but they're completely different. If anything, Old Park Star is more like Constitution Hill, quite exuberant. There's a horse further down, actually, just whilst it's on topic there of Altior, called Fire Warning for Nicky Henderson and Rich Ritchie, won on debut at Newbury from the front, which was fairly impressive. The numbers may not have been up to scratch of what people are necessarily looking for. It doesn't really interest me too much, but the interesting factor about him is that he's out of a high chaparral dam and High Chaparral was actually the sire of Altior. So I think Fire Warning is the one that's more like Altior. Old Park Star to me is much more like Constitution Hill. What I like about him, Alex, is when he's over the hurdles, he's always running. And if you watch his last few wins, he just gets quicker and quicker and quicker as the straight goes on, and his jumping becomes slicker and slicker and slicker. So there's nothing not to like about what he's done so far, and we'll find out in 5 weeks if he is the real deal, I suppose. But he'd probably be where I am for the time being anyway, but I wouldn't say he's a banker just yet.
Just looking at Talk the Talk is obviously second in that poll. I've watched that race back from the Dublin Racing Festival maybe 7 or 8 times. I still don't think he won. I'm still convinced he didn't win that race.
The freeze frame was like, looked like the nose had smudged across the line. I was like,
Yeah.
I was cheering. Oh, we thought Ballyfad had won. We're going mental near the finish line.
I liked Ballyfad as well, boss.
Yeah.
I actually wasn't sure whether I was going to pick Ballyfad or King Rasco Grey, so I ended up just laying Talk the Talk, and for most of the way round, well, even when the photo came up, I was like, God, I've been quite lucky here. But they turned it round and they said, no, Talk the Talk has got it done. So, bit of heartbreak. There's a few rumours flying around that he might be being purchased. It's just a bit strange when you've got horses.
Yeah, someone put that he's been purchased by JP. I saw on Twitter.
I don't think anything has been confirmed yet as such, but that's what I'm seeing, all of these rumours, and I don't know why Manera and Swade would want to sell him, really, this fella. He'll be out of a chaser next season as well, so but why would you
they're
want
not
to
normally ones to sell that sort of, I mean, they're top level ones. I mean, some of the ones that sort of fall by the wayside they might sell, you know. But they're sort of top level horse. I can't remember them ever selling. Can you?
No, there is a juvenile that they've sold this year. I can't think of which one it is, but he went to JP, I'm sure. I'd have to have a look through, but it's either way, it's very uncommon. It just doesn't make sense, does it? You go into Cheltenham as an outfit that have so many horses. They're like, here you go, here's your supreme horse. They don't. Oh, let's sell him now. Then it's like, oh, that doesn't seem quite right to me anyway. But I might be wrong. I just find it cool, really.
One last thing before we go on to the next race. This time last year, the poll was actually won by Salvatore Mundi, but that was before the Dublin Racing Festival.
Wow.
But at the point when we did the poll, Kopek was 10 to 11. So still just odds on. So the fact that there's still odds against horses at this stage probably makes it a little bit more of an exciting betting proposition. So
I don't think you're going to have that many odds on shots as it stands at the minute. With might have 1 or 2.
I'm surprised.
You have like 4 or 5.
Is one,
some like 1 to 5s and 1 to 7s.
Yeah. It's like when Ballyburn was like 1 to 3, 1 to 4 for the Turners, and like he sluiced up, and then like the cross country was called off. You felt like there's 2 races you can't really get involved in, and it's a good season, isn't it, for punting wise? Like it's hard to nail down a banker when usually you've got about 8 or 9 to pick between, but it doesn't look like that this year. What about Al Kairos before you move on? It's well worth mentioning him. What do you two think? Really, I really like him. I think he's rapid.
My opinion, he's very quick, but I wonder if Old Park Star, for instance, puts him under pressure and they're going at quite speed. I think he might be prone to a mistake.
Interesting.
As we've seen with the last couple of weeks. Well, Jack Kennedy said it was his fault at the last hurdle, at the last race. I can't remember where they raced before, but I wonder if they're going that quick that he's under pressure, if he's prone to doing something silly.
Possibly, because I think when they get to the home turn, Nico is going to want to be in position to just let go and just fire up the straight. But then if you look behind you and you've got Talk the Talk and Al Kairos there, speed horses as well.
Yeah,
you're going to need a bit of stamina. It's going to be awesome this year, the Supreme, and because it's going to be a big field as well. We're going to have like My Daddy Paddy, Sober Glory, Idaho Sun, Fire Warning, the one I just mentioned for Rich Ritchie and Hendo. It's going to be even Mossy Fen Park. Harry Deerham's still on about sending him there despite getting beat. We're looking at a 16-runner Supreme here.
That's like the old days, isn't it?
Yeah, I can't wait. Honestly, really, really want that. And that again, that not only does it help the field sizes and make it sort of look good, but it means the favourites aren't going to be as short. It means the races can get a bit messy. We can get a few results. So people that are going to go into this year and say this is a banker, X, Y, Z. You need to bet with a bit of caution. I think this year because it's going to be funny. It's going to be an interesting one.
Do we know if Ballyfad's going here as well?
Turner's
I reckon it'll go up.
Turner's by the sound of things, they said, yeah. But he's got some good.
That difference in the price, considering how far they were split by between him and Turner, would be pretty crazy, isn't it? So
he dismantled a horse called Leader Dallier, who'd won about 5 bumpers in France before joining Mullins. And Leader Dallier has now come out since, and he won by about sort of 10 lengths as well. So I wouldn't mind, just because he was beating the DRF, I wouldn't mind seeing him in a Supreme. Really. I thought it was quite, there's that. We all know the drill. You need a bit of speed and stamina. He seems to have it both.
Slade Steele was beat the DRF and then won
exactly.
So
exactly, Alex.
Right, we'll move on then to the second race. We'll move on to the Arkle. As you can see, Kopek de Board came out with the highest percentage of the vote. Ian is fuming because the Lalamba didn't get it. 10 of the last 14 favourites won, so certainly one where, if you're a favourite backer, gets stuck in. Prices there, obviously, as you can see, Lalamba 11-8, Kopek de Board 5-2. To me, that's where I'd be putting my money there with Kopek. Romeo Coolio, don't know if he's going to go here or go to the Browns. Still looks a bit open, doesn't it? Come to you, Joe, on this one. What are your thoughts on this race so far?
Well, I don't really know, Alex, is the honest truth. Lulamba's got an obvious chance. Kopek's got an obvious chance. Cargazi's got an obvious chance. It's a bit like that, really. I don't like Irish Panther. I think people are trying to be a bit wise and saying he's the one to side of. I just don't think he's good enough. He got beat by Romeo.
Isn't he 9? He's 9, isn't he, Irish Panther?
Yeah, he's an old boy. He's an old boy, isn't he, running in the race? And not a massive fan of him as a horse. What I wouldn't sleep on is Steel Ally, who won this weekend. He's an 8-year-old as well, so he's a little bit older, but I don't see that as a massive negative because he didn't go chasing until this season. He's 3 for 3 now. Really, really fast horse. Now, Sam Thomas was going to go to the Scilly Isles at Sandown, and then by running there, I thought, well, what they're probably going to do then is go to the Scilly Isles over 2 mile 4, skip Cheltenham and go to Aintree and run in the Manifesto, what Imperi Pass beat Django Bay last year, but they sidestepped that and then ran this weekend over 2 miles. So I wonder now if they're actually going to probably line up here. And he's really straightforward. He's quick. He jumps no problem. Like I'd be inclined maybe to take some sort of swipe at him at 14-1 really, rather than try and narrow down the top end of the market at the moment. Like Romeo comes in with experience, but I've got a feeling he's going to go up to the Browns. Kopek's coming there after 1 run. Lulamba, there are.
It's a shame that there isn't a 2.5 mile grade run race at the festival, isn't there now?
Yeah, he'd be a shoo-in for it, wouldn't he? He really would. It's a tough race to narrow down. Capaja Pike's nice horse as well. When he gets down in 30 and then 5 a few furlongs, he really does knuckle down and show some speed. He's got like the profile of Django Bay, hasn't he? Like something falls or makes a big error, the final flight or 2 out. You wouldn't want to see him, Danny Mullins getting stuck into him because he'll be strong up that Cheltenham Hill. So look, those top few in the market are classy, but I think you'd be naive to overlook Capaja, Pike and Steel Ally, actually. Steel Ally would be the one I'd be pushed with, though, for a selection. I like him a lot.
Well, Phil Daniel commented on that on the 5th and said he fancied that one. At the time, it was 25's non-runner, no bet. Yeah. That was before we won it today. So,
yeah.
Phil, I'm sure you're very happy with your price now.
Phil's quite shrewd, really. I speak to Phil quite a lot on Twitter, in DMs. He's a big fan of like Sam Thomas and the dye watercolours too. So I'm not surprised that he spotted that before most people because it took me a bit longer to latch on, but I'm fully on board now.
Very much so. Ian, Lalamba, does it concern you that the record of 5-year-olds in this race, or does he just win because he's the Hendo horse?
I'm so torn. I'm really torn. So I think you said about the Turners. I think in an ideal world, if that was still there, I wonder if Lalamba would have gone to the 2 mile 4 as well. And you say he was good yesterday. Bearing in mind it was deep heavy ground. I know he'd won on heavy ground in France. Probably not the ideal prep that Hendo would have liked, but you say he's still won. Very good. I do like Kopek de Board, but I think I've got something here. I think the last horse to win the Arkle for 1 run was Western Warhorse, which is like 12 years ago. So it can be done, but if Mr. Mullins is someone to do it, he can do it. But it's a big feat for someone to win the Arkle for one run. So I agree with Joe in regards to Romeo Cooley. I wonder if he'll go up as well. So that was him and Cargay's had a tough race at the DRF on that ground. I do like your that Capital Pike as well. I think he's on the radar as well. Say he's 16-1 at the minute. He's been backed in from 25, so I think he could be one, as you said, that could mop up some places or could be bang there with if something was to happen. But yeah, I'm torn, Alex. I don't know what to do at the minute.
In a way, it's probably pretty nice to Turners, isn't there? Otherwise, the race would have been Kopek, Cargasi and Kappa. So it does make it a bit of a better race now it is gone. So
I still think it'll be a short field, but I think you might have about 7 or 8, I think. But
it's better than 3 or 4. So
yeah, true.
Yeah.
Any more comments on the Arkle, or should we move on?
No, I'm happy.
Right, moving on. No objections. Moving on to the Fred Winter, or whatever weird name that race now has. Can you see that?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, all good.
I can see it.
So, Fred Winter, I seem to remember Saratoga had the highest percentage of vote, and then maybe Selma Devary.
Yeah.
Joe, I'll come straight through to you. What are your thoughts on this one?
Yeah, not a race I tend to get involved in until the time, nearer the time, Alex. I think there's plenty of other sort of better bets. What I will say is, Winston Jr. is too short in the market now. When he ran last time, I thought, here's your Boodles horse. And I looked at the market and he was sort of 8-1 favourite, and then he sort of backed it up again. He's too short now. He's not well enough handicapped. But then I looked down at Lord Byron as well for Faye Bramley. Real eye catcher last time out, but he's only had 2 hurdle starts, so he might not get in. And then I actually narrowed it down to Highland Crystal at 11-1. She's the horse that actually beat Saratoga and all of these others at the weekend at Nace. It's a race where everyone's saying, this is full of plot jobs. When you look at these Triumph Hurdle races, of course you're going to see plot jobs in behind. It's not like you're being smart. So everyone was sort of saying, Saratoga's the horse, this, that, and the other. But if you take a look back at Highland Crystal's form, she won at Punchestown over 2 mile 2 and then won at Newbury, beating 14 horses, then 12. She got a really good toe into the race last time out, got brought into the race, got better as the race went on. But last time out this weekend at Nace, it was 1 mile 7.5 furlongs, really short. And she'll be miles better in a deeper field where they could sort of drop her out of the race and bring her into it. I think that's the plan. But yesterday, because it was all full of plots, she had to go off in front and do all of the donkey work and only managed to beat Saratoga by half a length. But they forced her to do that. The fact that she was able to still win to me is a major positive. And if Mange 2 wasn't in the Triumph, this filly would be in there. No questions about it. So I think it's easy for people to read into this and say, Saratoga was only half a length back and he's a non-trier. I think if you have a bigger field, it's only going to suit Highland Crystal more, actually. The 11-1 each way, I think, is an absolute steal. I think it's very easy, like I said, to look in behind these sort of races and say, there's a plot job, there's a plot job. There's no real plot jobs there at all. They made her sort of do the donkey work and she's going to end up here as well. So the fact they finished half length behind her is only going to benefit the favourite. I think people have got this all confused, Alex. I think she's a real solid each way bet. I think she'd be in the Triumph if Mange 2 wasn't there, and she'll be bang there. She'll love Cheltenham as well. She will love Cheltenham.
Mm-hmm. I like it, Joe. Very strong case put up there. I am now back. I can see that what's on the screen now. I'm very excited. A lot of people talk about that Nace race, don't they, as well? So they sort of talk about that Nace race as the trial for the Fred Winter. So yeah, it's got to be a good pointer. Ian, what are your thoughts on this one?
I don't know. So Winston Jr. I think ruined his mark that winner. Was it Ascot a few weeks ago? I think it was Ascot. It was a right-handed track anyway, and obviously blew the field away. Saratoga seems to be the wise guy's horse, and Munsif's the other one. I think that Johnny likes, who was third. I think he's the Charles Burns horse. He was third yesterday, and I think he's been there or thereabouts. I think was it Proactive and Macho Man. I think he was in the places, might have been fourth or fifth. He might be one to keep an eye on. I think he's about 16-1 at the minute. I'm not sure about Miller the Studies quite, but he's 14-1. I'm not quite sure what his mark is, whether he'll go here or the Triumph Hurdle. But he said he's got Cheltenham. Do you think he'll go Triumph?
Yeah, I think so. I think you got to, because he hasn't been beat yet. It's like roll the dice and give him a shot, you know.
But Selma De Veri I liked as well, the DRF. But again, I think we should find out tomorrow, Tuesday, what his Irish mark will be. And I think he'll get a massive hike as well. So I think he'll have to go to Triumph Hurdle. Yeah, tough on Alex. And I can't say I've studied the race well enough to put my pick my horse in a minute. But yeah, it's going to be tough.
Thanks, Ian.
Yeah.
Horse I quite like for this one is Barbazon. Won his maiden hurdle first time out, and then he ran in that Grade 2 with Narciso House when he was 4th. That was on Boxing Day, and then he was 6th to Narciso House in the Grade 1 at the DRF. He reached a mark of 101 on the flat, and he's only off 129 at the moment over hurdles, so you'd think he should still have quite a lot of improvement to come over hurdles. And looking at his flat form, the majority of it was on good to soft ground, and he's not raced on anything like that so far. So
Gigginstown, isn't he?
Yeah, Gigginstown.
Okay.
Yeah, I think there could be some improvement to come from him, or maybe they are just trying to get a mark. Who knows? We'll see what happens. Comments on here as well. Horseman says Manganese is far better than the 1, 2, 3, and Stuart Patterson likes Ames. Although if Manila said he was to change, he'd back that one. One last bit from me. The horse that won this race last year was Put Your Hands Together. He won at 7-1 or something around that sort of price. It was 17-2, sorry, I think it was something like that. But he was 12-1 at this point, so still a bit of anti-post value, still in the markets. That's Fred Winter. Any more?
Yeah, just a quick.
Are you on that?
Worth mentioning there that Horseman's mentioned Manganese being far better than 1, 2, 3. She's a really, really nice filly. She was actually meant to go up against Highland Crystal, the one I like, when they ran against Manlager last weekend. Highland Crystal ended up going to Nates. But Manganese could be a bit of a fairy tale story, if you like. He's trained by a gentleman called Max Comley, who I'm sure he's been assistant at sort of like Kim Bailey's, Fergal O'Brien's. He's from Cheltenham. And in his first sort of proper season of training, he's got a horse that he could be taken to Cheltenham. So, you know, I just like that sort of thing, really. He's a local fella. He's going to have a big runner now. And, yeah, can't wait, really, to see her go. And, again, be naive to underestimate her. People were talking about Manlager, like, you know, she was going to be a really special horse, and she disposed of her quite handily enough. So I quite like that.
Ian likes a bit of Manlager, don't you, Ian?
He loves... The more Manlager, the better for Ian.
Then finally, just having a look at those sort of previous winners, it is sort of win this race and then don't really do anything for the rest of your career normally.
Yeah.
Although there are the odd exceptions, so yeah, it's not good reading looking through those previous winners.
Don't think much.
Yeah. And then, like it says in there, 7 of the last 14 winners had an SP of 25-1. So this is not one where you go and get lumping in on a favourite, because they do usually get beat.
It's well worth just biding your time a little bit here, isn't it? Just be patient and look at a different market, I'd say.
Pick 2 or 3 outsiders, and if you get a place, brilliant. Or a couple of places. There's no point lumping on something at 3-1, because the chances are it will get turned over. Right, we'll move on then to... I don't like this new order of the races. It's confusing me.
Yeah, I was wondering what's going to come up next because of that.
It's the plate now, isn't it? Or Jack Richards?
Oh, got such an awful race.
Well, I'm trying to get mapped up. Oh, it's the Ultima.
Oh, that's good.
Apparently.
That's good.
Oh.
We'll just leave this to you, Alex.
Is that right?
Yeah, that's right. It's the Ultima. Yeah, sorry. Yeah.
Don't question me, Ian. So, Ultima, winner of the poll was Maya Town, obviously last year's winner. Jaguar then with the 35.8% of the vote for the Ultima. He's also, spoiler alert, he had quite a lot of support in the vote for the plate as well. So some people are going to be disappointed wherever he runs. So comments on here as well. Stuart Patterson says it's going to be a festival of surprises. He'll be having a look at Heracles, Westwood, Deep Cave, one of our favourites, mine and Johnny. We love a bit of Deep Cave. Ian joining the bandwagon as well. Moon Rocket on my shortlist as well.
Yes.
And then Northern Horseman says 3-card brag for him if the ground comes up soft. if it's a bog, he'd be tempted to lump on him. That's another a sow I also quite like as well. So
Yeah, but
a couple there.
he's Irish.
Be a big weight, wouldn't he? Surely.
I know he's Irish, Joe, but there's got to be an Irish winner of this race at some point, isn't there?
They've gone close, haven't they? With like fast or slow. Can't think of who even placed last time, but they've had a few that have actually gone like finished second plenty of times. So it's probably more coincidence that we win it more often rather than it being a downfall to.
Well, look at that. 2 Irish train winners since 1967.
Jesus.
Wow, that is mad.
Pretty mad, that, isn't it?
That is mad. Yeah, that is. And looking down that list,
The
20 years ago, the last
I like the
one.
one at the top. Well, the first 2 are my favourites. So 9 of the last 14 wore headgear, and 10 of the last 16 winners ran at Cheltenham earlier in the season. Those are real telling statistics normally. So worth dotting those and seeing which ones, once the entries come out, those match.
definitely, defo.
Joe, any thoughts on this one at this stage?
Yeah, so I've got 2 strong fancies in the Ultima this year, Alex. I've actually tipped one already on my odds checker column, and I'll give you the other as well, which I was going to release on our podcast this evening, but it's no problem anyway. The one I've tipped is Moon Rocket, and I tipped him at 50-1 for the race. He's now 40-1. Official rating of 114. He's only a 6-year-old. Now, he's trained by Kim Bailey and Matt Nichols, who of course won this previously with Chianti Classico, so they know exactly the type of horse that you need for this, and they've even tried sort of Trelawn. I think they had a winner called Betty's Boy in this race as well some years back too, but I'd say this has been the plan for Moon Rocket for some time now. The key attributes I want in an Ultima horse are reliable jumpers under pressure, proven stamina at 3 miles or further, lightly raced horses, and just crucially one that's obviously still going to be ahead of the handicapper. And 140 I do still think underestimates his ability. He bolted up on chase debut off 134, and he brushed aside sort of like Henri II and Hurricane Bay, who have won plenty of times since. He then finished second at 1-3 next time out, so he was, given a tender handling, shall we say. You wouldn't have been happy if you backed him at 1-3 that day. And then he was last of 6 last time out in the Grade 2 Hampton, but he drifted from 3-1 all the way out to 7-1. Everything points towards a carefully mapped out plan to the Ultima. So I put him up at 50-1. He's now 40-1. I generally, Alex, I could see him going off at like 10-1 on the day. I generally could. So Moon Rocket is definitely the first on my radar. Another one that came to my attention today, again, we're doing our handicap episode soon. There's a 7-year-old in here called Ask Brewster. 50-1 shot off a mark of 128. Last year, the bottom weight was 127. I mean, this is another horse with just an absolute perfect profile for it. He's won 3 of his 4 chase starts. He's a superb jumper. And those 3 wins, 2 came at Chepstow, 1 came at Cheltenham. The latest effort was his loss, which came at Sandown, which he clearly didn't like when he was bidding for a 4-timer. But he actually got dropped £1 for that anyway. But that Cheltenham and Chepstow form and his jumping is absolutely key. And if he goes from the front, he's won really, really well from the front twice this season. A prominent ride here off a mark of 128. He might not be for catching, Alex. So Moon Rocket is 40-1 now, but him and Ask Brewster at 50-1. I could generally see these horses running massive races. They're 2 of my better handicap fancies for now anyway.
Just need him to stick some headgear on, Joe.
Yeah, anything that helps. Just get anything to add to those stats, and we're all good.
Tick some more of the.
Was it 9 to 14?
What about you, Ian? Any thoughts on the Ultima so far?
Not really. I'm quite surprised that it's been, as you said, with Jaguar being 9-2 now. So a lot of money's come from him in the past week. But I think Joe's got the right idea by looking further down. I think a lot of these in the betting, you can see Jericho de Repenay is allegedly going to the Kimura, has been well backed for that. Wendigo will go to the Brown Advisory. Wall Park, I don't know what they can do with after that run today. Christ almighty. And then you go now towards Free Car Bragg, maybe, but say you'd be a big weight. Ballysax Hank, Alex, 3 mile, what do you reckon? 14-1?
Up to
yeah,
you.
maybe.
I'm asking for your fancies, Ian.
No. But no, it's another race I've not... Normally I've got it all sewn up ready to go in previous years, but this is another one I've not really looked into yet. But so the people are telling us it's Jaguar, but I'm not so sure what he'd be like over 3 mile.
Yeah, it's quite a big step up, wouldn't it? What, 6 furlongs or so? Is it 3 miles or 3 mile 2 this race?
This is 3 mile 1.5. Yeah, so
3 mile 1, I think.
Mile 2, yeah.
Yeah.
3 mile 1.5.
3 mile 1,
He's only
25
run at Cheltenham
furlongs.
this year, isn't he?
And you got to think, people saying like he's a weak finisher Jaguar. If you go back and look when he won the plate last year, he beat a horse called the Company Sergeant. He's another horse where everyone's like, oh, you don't want him in a finish because he just doesn't. So it might just be that he's not really up for a battle. It's like, do you want to take 4-1 in an Ultima about Jaguar?
He did get a pretty poor rider, didn't he, from John Joe Jr. On trials day? It was a real poor ride.
He should have won that.
I'd say he got a poor ride in the December Gold Cup as well. That was it.
Yeah.
Panic Attack won, beat Vincenzo, and then Jaguar.
It was Glenn Gooley.
Oh, of course it was. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, but there's been again. I really don't like to slate jockeys because we don't know what it's like when you're sat in the saddle. It's not as simple as pressing buttons and whatever in a car to make it do what you want and all of that stuff. It's not easy, but anytime I've got a horse with John Joe Jr. on and you're coming towards the 2 or 3 out and you're looking for, like, come on, kick on and give us a big one here. You never get it. It's just almost like he's nervous. I might be wrong. I might be talking nonsense, which is fair enough. I'm not a jockey, but he really doesn't fill me with confidence back in John Joe Jr. on a horse, sadly.
I'm in the same position. Not one of mine.
Good.
I can see
looking through list of previous winners. Any favourites from you, Ian? Obviously, Beware the Bear.
Or Chianti Classico. I think we picked out October that year. Korak Rambo, I think I was late to the party on that one. Yeah, Beware the Bear. I remember I was in the Centaur, and I think I must have been the only person cheering home.
So I was
Jerry.
Going mad.
I'll give you a little story about Beware the Bear. So it's slightly braggy, I must admit, but it'd be worth sharing anyway. I went out that day, and I'd had my breakfast in the morning, and we had £15 change, and we said, "Go on, give us your best 4 horses for the day." And we did a lucky 15, and we did we did Classical Dream and the Supreme, and he won. We did Duke de Geneva and the Arkle, and he won. It was like 13-2, 11-2. Then we had Beware the Bear, who ended up winning at 16-1, looking like he was going to get beat sort of 2 out, and then he started coming. I couldn't believe it. And then the final leg went on to Aplutard when he won the novice handicap chase, and he won at 11-2 as well. So he just shy of 11 grand off a £1 lucky 15, which is smaller stakes than we usually sort of ever do. And it was one of those days. I've got like a family of 2 halves, if you like. Everyone just happened to be there at the same time, so we all watched it sort of come to fruition. It was amazing, and yeah. So Beware the Bear's definitely one that I'll remember strongly, because when he won at 16-1 or whatever it was, we looked at the docket again, smaller stakes than usual, but it was like, oh, happy days, we're over about £1,200 already. Whatever happens, and then Aplutard put in the best performance you'll ever see in that novice handicap chase. Didn't touch a twig. I think he was Rachel Blackmore's first winner as well.
Yeah,
at the festival. Yeah, that was one of my favourite days ever. I've got pictures of me. I had a skinhead at the time, shamefully, and there's pictures of me with all the cash on the table and stuff. So yeah, I love Beware the Bear. But apart from that, I don't reckon. Looking down that list, I don't reckon I've backed one other of those horses. So might not be worth listening to me at all.
I had a great record till 2024, and then it's just been downhill. Terrible. 2024, my one was not anymore. I'm done now.
You can get your old.
2024, I put up the Changing Man, and every race he looks like he's going to win, just gives up. And then last year I put up Trelawney, or maybe it was I can't remember something.
Whistle Stop Tour.
Whistle Stop Tour. That was it.
Whistle Stop Tour last year, yeah.
Good memory.
Picked the wrong Lucinda one.
Thought they'd follow with
since as well. So yeah, my nice streak on this race is gone.
You'll be back this year. You're going to get
come on, it lasted.
Do you fancy anything?
I can see Stuart's with Heracles has said the stat about running at Cheltenham. I think he's ran 3 times at Cheltenham. I think he won last time out and has been second and fourth, so I can see that. But
I think he'll end up in a national hunt chase, wouldn't he? Heracles, he's like one of these marathon runners, really, is he? 3 mile, 6, maybe.
I think he's won at 3 mile 2, so he could stay.
Is he? Okay, fair enough. Yeah,
stay the trip. Yeah.
Right, we'll move on then to the champion hurdle. Yeah, that's a similar noise to what I made when I saw the top 3. So
Constitution Hill. 34% Constitution Hill.
Yeah, pretty mad, isn't it? Then the New Line second, 31.9. Brighter Days Ahead, 15.7, and Other, 18.1. Bookie's Foe said the shortlist is comical, which, yeah, it is it is mad. Phil Daniel said Lossiemouth will run in this and will win it. Unbeaten at Cheltenham, comes alive in the spring. Brighter Days Ahead, not in the same form last two festivals. And the New Line won't be able to give her £7. And then Covboy in Essex says 2026, and Con Hill still getting the most votes in polls like this. It'll be single figures if you're entering the 2030 champion hurdle. So, yeah. Wow. Where to start here? Joe?
Just get
What do you reckon about Phil's comment? Do you think Lossiemouth will run in this? Do you think she should run in this? What are your thoughts overall? Where should she go, but where will she go?
She should run here, but she won't. She'll run in the mares. I think she's odds on to run in the mares now. I do. Now she's been beaten by Brighter Days Ahead. I think that will tell them now they'll go up. I know conditions might have been in Brighter Days Ahead favour and all of that stuff, but even aside of that, I just think Willie's going to go to the race he thinks he can win. I think he'd rather send Lossiemouth to the mares and win the mares, and then just chuck Amsterdam, Poneros and all of that lot in here and hope for the best, really. But I don't think you can run Lossiemouth here and guarantee you're going to win this and the mares. I think by going to the mares, he's definitely.
Can you guarantee that she wins the mares though if she goes there?
I think so. I think she'll dismantle Wadu. I do. I don't understand.
Really?
Yeah, I do. I don't see where people think the distance is going to be closed from. Myself, again, more than happy to be proven wrong. I'd love Gordon to have a good festival this year, but I think Lossie will dismantle Wadu, absolutely.
Wow. I think it might make a difference the fact that it's on obviously the other course now as well.
The new course.
I actually don't know. I know what people are saying, like the longer run in and things like that, and Wadu won the Martin Pipe, but Lossiemouth would have done what she did in that Martin Pipe and won it by another 5 lengths. I don't see her getting beat in the mares, but I'd see her getting beat in a champion hurdle. That's where I'd be with Lossie at the moment. But in all fairness, I wouldn't be ramming that opinion down anyone's throats because I haven't got a strong opinion in this race this year.
That run that she had at the DRF sort of reminded me of that Kempton run a few years ago when she finished behind Constitution Hill.
Yeah,
that was Kempton, wasn't it?
Yeah, that's right.
So it reminded me of that race. Just didn't quite, don't know, just the way she ran. I still think she should come here, and I think she would win this race. And I think that if she did go to the mares, I think she would. I think she's got more chance of getting turned over in the mares by Wadu than she has of getting turned over in this race by Brighter Days Ahead or New Line. Personally,
yeah, it's a fair opinion. Like, there's nothing wrong with that as well. It does make sense.
No? I mean, they raced in Aintree last year, and Wadu was still a 5-year-old. So I think she's going to improve from that. There was
gave a good account of herself.
So
yeah.
Well, you know what they say: opinions are like arseholes. Ian, what are your thoughts on this one?
I really don't know what to say, Alex.
Put it out.
Well, you look at how it was 2 weeks ago. Sergino's going to win this, and then he gets injured. And maybe Lossiemouth, if she wins at the DRF, she'll go here. Now, as Joe said, I think she'll now go mares after getting beaten. I don't know. Constitution Hill's due to run in a bloody flat race at Southwell in a few weeks. I still don't think he'll even come to the festival myself. But and the New Lion only just beat the Nemean Lion, and I'm trying to figure who the other one was. But didn't really. I know he won, but it didn't look convincing to me. So would Golden Ace be a silly bet again? So she's always there. So she's the champion hurdle defending champion, and so she won at the fighting 5th as well. I know she got well beaten by Sergino, but I think she 5-1, 7-1 in places. You probably could take her each way at the minute, and even something silly I heard today. Tutti Quanti might be supplemented for this race after convincing race by Mr. Nichols. I think he talked about that, but
not a chance.
Yeah,
they'll save him for injury. He won't even come here. They'll save him for injury now.
Yeah.
Well, he won a handicap off 138, Like that's not exactly champion hurdle quality, is it? So
No.
especially in a champion hurdle of
Yeah.
this
And-
depth as well.
And he was top weight in that William Hill hurdle, and that was one of the worst renewals you'll ever see. They're usually like 145, 150 horses in the top, like your Celtic Dinos, Alexis, and all of those. Like none of that this year. And what are they doing with Con
He
Hill?
was beating nearly 30 lengths in the Supreme last year. Like,
yeah. So did he finish? What did he finish? Sixth in the end? Was it sixth?
sixth in that race,
so.
yeah.
Sixth, yeah. Like what are they doing with Constitution Hill though? As well, honestly, it's like if you're, my opinion is if you're running him on the flat, you know you're not coming to Cheltenham. I got a feeling, like for me, you just crack on. You just go to the champion hurdle and you just crack on. He's a racehorse. Like I understand people are worried about. Yeah, I understand. I understand that. Is it coincidence? It can happen. Like. Because now, like I've been his biggest critic for years now, to be fair, since he's had his sort of issues. But he literally needs.
You hate him, don't you, Joe?
I definitely don't hate him, but I'd have loved to have seen Marine versus Con Hill in a champion hurdle. Anyway, that's all I say. But with like Constitution Hill, if you're even considering running him on the flat, you're not going to run him on the flat and then come back to Cheltenham. You would just keep him fresh and you'd run him at Cheltenham. That's my opinion. I don't know what all the arsing around is on the flat. Have you seen him come out of the stalls as well in that clip?
Fell out the stalls, didn't he? I think.
Jesus Christ! Like he barely walked out of the thing. It's like so much going on here. I wouldn't be surprised if he didn't run on the flat and he ended up just running straight in the champion hurdle myself. And this run on the flat could be keeping all the attention off his schooling for a while from the public, and it might just be what seven barrows want, to be honest. And I'd be real 50-50 if he turns up here. But if he doesn't, if he runs on that flat race, he's not going to champion hurdle. If he doesn't run, I think they'll roll the dice and run him here. Just run him. No reason not to run him. Like, back our sports. Like, run the horse. Run him.
Seen some people on Twitter saying they think that what's done Constitution Hill for this race is Sergino not being in there because they were hoping to get a different jockey on him than Nico, to try and get some confidence into him or something. So
James Bowen back on board or something. But I don't think it's Nico's fault myself. Like none of us had any complaints when he was winning the Supreme. None of us had any complaints when he was winning the Champion Hurdle. Nico hasn't suddenly changed what he's doing. This is a horse issue. It's a horse issue.
No, but sometimes it's nice to just freshen it up.
Sure, I appreciate that. Yeah, I'm not saying that you're saying Nico's the issue or whatever, but
no one's saying he's crap or anything. It's just
Jesus, like
It's like in football. Sometimes you want that new manager bounce, don't you?
Yeah, exactly. Steve Cottrell effect is what you want, don't you, Alex? Like you want the
Steve Cottrell effect.
Yeah. Just get him, take him out of that flat race, run him in the Champion Hurdle, run him in that Champion Hurdle. Like get him in there. That's it. Run him.
Right. Any more for the Champion Hurdle, or we're happy to move on?
Move on now. Still on the wide,
Alex. Get those splinters out your ass, shall we? Before we move on, or you gonna be all right?
Yeah.
All right. Cool. We'll move on. Okay. Moving on then to the plate, which obviously was previously not on the Tuesday, but now been moved to the Tuesday. Before we discuss politics on that, let's just get into the race. So, Madara's won the vote with 48.5% of the vote. Very significant vote, actually. Had a very eye-catching ride last week when he did stay on to finish second, and then seems like everybody on Twitter then decided to put him up for this race. So, yeah, we'll see. Ian, I'll come straight to you. What are your thoughts on the plate? We had no comments. I don't think anyone's really too...
No, I think...
So.
There's another one I think everyone none the wiser. But yeah, I think we watched the Madara race at Kempton. Yeah, it was very... Was it 6.5 lengths he got beat? So it was a bit like, okay.
He was at the back
Mr.
all the way,
Skeleton up to his old tricks. Sorry, Alex?
He was at the back of the whole way.
Yeah.
Well, pretty much. He didn't have his normal headgear on. And
so, yeah, Jaguar's 50. I wonder more if he suit this race. I think, is this the race he won? Yeah, he won this race last year. It wouldn't shock me if he was to come here again rather than go to the Ultima, but maybe I don't know, there's only half a point in it in a minute, and McClory, I don't think has done much since winning at the DRF a couple of years ago. I might be totally wrong, but Vincenzo's been quite good this year. I think some back for. I think he won last time out. 6 Mile Bridge could be quite interesting as well. I think rather than come to, I think he's going to go maybe come into this race at quite a hefty weight because of his mark. But that's the vibes I'm getting from the team. There, they might come here instead. But Kim Roque, I think I've got my eye on, but he may go up in trip. But yeah, not tough one,
Nothing
Alex.
major.
No, nothing major.
Right, we'll come on to you then, Joe. Any 50-1 selections in this race?
No.
We love a big price selection on the channel.
Sorry, I've just disappointed you because I've got nothing whatsoever. Diddly squat. Don't like the race. Don't like it.
Well, one stat to point out for you, Jeff. You look at the second one down there. The last 7 winners of the plate all won at Cheltenham earlier in the season.
Oh, okay. Well, rules Vincenzo.
So we'll have to go through the entries when we got it and just circle all the ones that won at Cheltenham earlier in the year.
Well, Vincenzo's been beat, but he did come out and win.
He got beat at Cheltenham, didn't he? And then won.
6 Mile Bridge, he won't run. He'll go for the Browns, won't he? Or Arkle if it's soft, maybe. Yeah, nothing, Alex. And I've had a look as well. Honestly, got nothing. Sorry.
Kim Roque ran at Cheltenham as well and got beat.
Yeah, he could run
I'm
an
not going
engine.
to force you to any selection, so we'll move on to the next race. We'll move on to the National Hunt Chased, which was last year won by Haiti Couleur, who just keeps improving, it seems. This time last year, Haiti Couleur was 7s for this race, and now it's about 7s for the Gold Cup in place, I think I saw earlier somewhere. So, yeah, pretty crazy. Ian, what are your thoughts on the National Hunt Chase?
There is one. I think Joe is of the similar opinion. Newton Tornado for the lovely Rebecca Curtis, who's a friend of the show, and I think he could be quite a good one at 10-1. Again, the Wall Park. I'm not so sure if he'll go after his run today. Back Me or Sack Me could be one, depending on what his mark is. And then you got Argento Boyer, so he's a Mullins looks to run one in this, but again, I'm not sure. It's nothing really jumping out again this year. It's really funny with this sort of race. But I think Newton Tornado is the one I'm looking at in a minute, Alex. At 10-1.
Okay. I've got a real soft spot for that Back Me or Sack Me. Obviously, he won for the DRF, didn't he? For me, I was very happy, and yeah, I've been following him a few times, so I'll probably follow him again in this, and then. Got to give a shout out to Wade Out, who I know this has been his target for the whole season. Shout out to Archie as well, who put me onto that one. So yeah, it's been a race. I've got a couple in for this one. What about you, Joe? Any big ones for this?
I haven't got a big one, but I did like the Wall Park. I see Wayne Hall there said the Wall Park's going to attempt to get another £3 off his mark. Ran today. He is not having £3 off his mark. He's having £3 put on his mark, and that will kick him out of this race actually, because he's off 143. I think he's going to go up to like 146 plus English tax. So he won't actually get in now. But he was my initial fancy too. Wade Out, big fan of Wade Out. He's got that form with the mighty Wendigo, doesn't he? And to be honest, he's a real tough horse, and he's got Sean Bowen on board. They're a real match made in heaven. But the one I've come down on is, like Ian said, I've been a big fan of this horse for a little while now. And again, this one's starting to come to fruition, I think. The 7-year-old Newton Tornado, 10-1, official rating of 133 for Rebecca Curtis and Ben Jones, who obviously teamed up to win this last year with Haiti Couleur. He's won 2 of his 4 starts this season so far. Both runs that he's won, the 2 wins he's had this season, have both come over 3 miles. And he absolutely sluiced home. All of his other runs are shorter. He has run twice at Cheltenham. He was beat by Diva Luna in a maiden hurdle by sort of half a length. And then he fell in October of this season as well. But I've got no doubt at all that he's going to stay this marathon trip. These Cocorico horses are as tough as nails. Last year's winning connections, they know what they're after. They don't want to sort of mess around with that handicap mark. And he looks like the way, that's where everything's pointing towards at the moment for me, Newton Tornado. Quite strong on him as well, Alex, to be honest.
I love it. Love the sound of it. Might have to have another little go on that one. And then we had a comment as well from Marcus Graveling, who said he's not got the sexy profile as some at the top of the market, but he does fancy Zertact for Venetia. That horse won in the December meeting at Cheltenham. and was actually second in the Ida, I think it was. Although it's not called that anymore, is it?
I'm not sure, Alex.
That's the race at Newcastle. It's at Newcastle, isn't it? The 3 mile 6 race.
Oh no, yeah, I thought it was still called the Ida.
Oh, I thought it had another. I thought it was another one where they'd given it a new name. I might be wrong, but yeah, that's one that Marcus fancies, which is, I mean, it'd be a nice price towards the bottom, but I'll have to see whether he gets in or not because he's currently rated 122. So
What got in last year? Last year, I did write it down. Was 124 last year the lowest?
Yeah, might not get in them. And there'll be 2 less runners as well this year.
Yeah, I've seen that they've reduced the sizes of some of the races this year.
Yeah, they've reduced all of the handicaps by 2. I think the bumper's gone down by 2 as well, hasn't it? From memory.
Ridiculous.
Any more for the National Anthem Chase, or are we all happy with where we are?
All happy, Alex.
Okay. So that then concludes our Twitter tips video. If you want to get involved on Twitter or on X, whatever you call it nowadays, get stuck in, give us your votes, give us your comments. We'll try and feature some more people again next week. And thanks again to our sponsor, that'sagoal.com. If you fancy any free betting offers, just get stuck in and let us know if you've done anything. And finally, thanks to Ian and to Mr. Ginger Joe for joining me today. And thanks to you guys for watching. Speak to you all soon.